Hi guys, welcome to Stu's and Zone. So in this video, we discuss how to crack any interview. So like whether that was a technical interview or whether that was a HR round or a personal interview round, whatever the round is. So this is the same process for everything. And trust me, this process works. Like I know the accuracy is too much, like 90%, more than 90%. There is chance for you to get hired, but there is some preparation you need to do for that. So we are going to discuss the same. Okay, so now before I continue with the entire thing, let us understand the process. So how a role open, if you're applying for a role, right? So how that role was actually open from interviewer side. Okay, so how this recruitment team prepare a role, and they prepare a JD, and how they prepare the hiring streamline in a brief way. First, see, take any company. So before they're opening a role, or before they're opening any vacancies, they have many projects. Every project what they have, they touches the every department in the company. So how many departments was there? There are total of 6 departments. Usually there are 6 departments. Some companies have some other workflow. Okay, so there is operation department, and then designing department to design the entire project, and then development department. So whatever the project they need to develop, and then testing department. So in this department they test whether there is any errors or any mismatches or anything. They test that, and after that there is deployment department. So people, they deploy these projects, and then the final one, that is maintenance department. So for maintenance there are too much of roles, basically tech support or customer support, and all these things were actually the maintenance department. So there, how many departments there is? There is total of 6 departments. Okay, so in these departments there is teams. Every department have teams. If you take one department out of this, that is development. So in this development department there are plenty of teams. The team consists of maybe anything, like maybe 10 or 20, or maybe more. In big companies maybe more, in smaller companies maybe 5, 10, or anything. There are team consists of 5. So there is TL, team leader, and there is like 4 other team players. So there are these people are workers. In this, every team they have a junior guy, maybe intern. You can consider them as an intern, or very fresher, entry level guy. So the total of 5 people will take in this example. For example, if they want to fill one vacancy, now recruitment team choose a department. In that department they'll go into a team, in which team there is vacancy, and they'll ask the TL, team leader, so for which team member you're looking for, what are the skills they need. So they need to good at technical, or they need to good at soft skills. Okay, so there are 2 things. So they'll ask everything, every requirement, not only these 2. They'll ask every department how your team member look like, how your team member needs to do. So they'll ask everything. So they tell. So for example, we'll take Python developer. So since we are in our entire series, we are discussing about the Python developer role. So they'll ask, so we need a Python developer. So he need to good at Python, he need to good at Flutter, and some libraries also. These are the mandatory skills he need to have to join our team. And he need to be good communicator, like communication skills could be good, and then he need to have a good presentation skills as well. Okay, and so more kind of a little soft skills. So he give all the requirements now, right? So now this hiring recruitment team take the requirements like this from every department and the teams which have vacancies. Now they prepare a JD, job description, and this job description was published to you people, like whether through LinkedIn or Indeed or anywhere. They provide you this JD. By looking this JD, you'll get to understand what is the role, what is the mandatory skills, and what is the responsibilities. Based on this, you people apply, whether you are from college placements. So then you apply with the same thing anyway. Okay, so now we come to the second part in our video, that is how this hiring streamline looks like. See, after preparing the JD, the first thing they does is resume shortlisting. So you write a resume, right? So you submit that to a company. Now this resume, they send that to the ATS. ATS is one of the system, applicant tracking system. So it will find all the keywords which was there in your resume. And if you want to prepare ATS cracking, like ATS friendly resume which cracks every application based on your role you're applying, you can check it out here, or you can check at the end of the video. There is a card. Okay, don't miss out that video also. So after this resume shortlisting round, whoever was shortlisted in this round and resume shortlisting round, they diverted to the next round, that is written skills. That means you're going to write exam on aptitude or whatever, exams were different, so company have their own idea how to conduct these exams. So we can't tell company have these exams, but most commonly they'll check your communication, they'll test your English speaking, verbal things and all these things, and they also test your coding things like technical knowledge, so how you can code, how you have this technical knowledge and all these things. So these are the three common exam skills. And after this exam, so they have now here the main hiring process starts, hiring stream. So if the company, if the role needs to have soft skills as important as technical skills, then they have GD, group discussion. In this group discussion, basically they test your soft skills like your communication skills, active listening skills, or leadership skills, or team player skills, or whatever the skills is, soft skills. Okay, so if you there is one more video coming on like how to crack this GD. So for that, if you want to get reminder, subscribe and also like the channel so that it will keep motivating me. And after this round, GD round, they'll conduct technical round, and after that personal interview. So 3 rounds would be happen. If technical is important and soft skills also same important as technical, then GD, technical and PI, and some people may conduct technical too also. But if the company only need technical knowledge, they don't want they need a little soft skills, that is not big matter, so they'll conduct 2 technical rounds and 1 PI, or else 1 technical round, 1 personal interview. Now in this video we are going to conquer how to crack the interview, whether that was personal interview or technical interview or any interview. Okay, so how to crack that interview? Let us begin. So in interview part, so they test you in 3 different aspects, three topics. So what are those topics? So topic number 1, that is your communication skills, and topic number 2, that is your technical knowledge, and topic number 3, that is your cultural fit, whether you're fit for the company culture or not. So these are the 3 things: communication skills, technical skills, cultural fit. So you need to conquer these 3 things first. So first one, communication skills. So like how I know I'm going to give you the process, like how actually where the communication skills was actually tested, what are the questions they ask. Okay, I'm going to tell you, and I also give you the entire structure. In the description there is a document, the entire structure would be there, but don't check directly. If you check directly, you won't understand anything. So listen everything and then you check, you understand everything. So in communication skills, the first thing they ask you, introduce yourself or tell me about yourself. You know that question. When they ask that question, they expect, what they expect from you, they expect English speaking, like how your English was, whether that was professional English or whether there's too fluent English or like that. So they test your English speaking. And the second thing they'll observe you is communication. See, I interviewed more than 300 students in my entire life. So I worked as a recruiter, by the way. So like I see in this interview, almost 30% of students, they won't answer when I ask this question, introduce yourself or tell me about yourself. They sit silent. Okay, so they won't open their mouth to tell something. So to test this communication skills, they also do this one. And the next one, your confidence. So how confident you are actually. So while you're answering this introduction about you, so how confident you are. And there are plenty of YouTube videos out there to tell how to tell this or how to introduce yourself or how to tell about yourself. For all these things, there are plenty of YouTube videos. You can check out anything. This is a simpler one. And coming to the second one, that is project demo. See, you mentioned projects in your resume. Okay, so see, if you don't know how to prepare a relevant project for a job interview, then you're going to rejected here. So please check that other video, how to prepare your projects and things. I attached the same video which when we are making the resume, we also make the projects also. Check that video for sure. Okay, so you mention a projects, right? So they ask you how you make that project and what is your role in that project. They'll ask you. At there also, they'll test your confidence, they test your communication, they test what is your role, whether you're leadership role or whether you're having a team player role. So they test that also, and they'll test your storytelling, presentation skills. Basically, the presentation skills matters here. How you presenting your project to the interviewer, this is really matters. Okay, so they test all these things. Okay, and the third thing in communication skills, that is basic interview questions. So this is if that was a technical round. So the basic questions, you can say what is the full form of HTML, what is the full form of CSS, what is the main difference between HTTP and HTTPS. So these are the basic questions they'll ask you. So in this question, what they want to find from you, they want to find how confident you are while answering. See, your senior people, your team leaders or your managers, they come you and they'll ask you what is the progress of your project. At that time, how you're going to answer. So answering is really matters in corporate world. So for that testing, they'll ask you the basic interview questions. So this is all from communication part. Okay, in communication, these are the three very important things. Okay, after coming to the technical skills. So in technical skills, there are four major things you need to conquer. So in these four major topics, I divided in percentages. So in what these four topics occupied percentages. Okay, so then you can understand even more clearly. Okay, let us start with the topics first. The first one, so how you are actually answering this technical knowledge, like whether you're answering confidently or you have any anxiousness in your answering, like whether you're feeling fear or whether you're not confident enough while you're answering, or whether the repeated words, yeah, like that, whether the repeated words or something like that. So in this way you're answering, or whether you're answering a confident way. When they ask question, what is HTML, so hypertext markup language, if you answer that in a confident way, they're having another marking. And this actually having a scoring, by the way, I forgot to mention that. So every round they have scorings in that. Okay, so if you answer confidently, you have a scoring. So scoring would be anything based on the company. So how you're answering, this is the first thing. Don't feel fear, answer confidently. And the second one, problem solving. So how good you are in problem solving. So they ask you some hypothetical questions. So what do you do in this situation? Or they'll give you one question I remember very well. One of our colleague, he asked this question. So like there is an e-commerce website which they were opening offer for next 1 hour. So you need to develop algorithms. If a customer orders in this offer period, so they are getting extra discount, and also they are getting some bonus coins which they help in other aspects to purchase something. How you actually develop this? Okay, so at that time he need to develop a use case diagram. Okay, so he need to draw a use case diagram in his mind, not on the paper, in his mind, and he need to explain. Okay, so first I'll take this and then I do this and I do that, and in this way. So you need to tell that to the interviewer. So this is basically a problem solving. So this problem solving depends on every company, so Google do this in different way. Google have unique perspective to do this. And if you come, sometimes TCS or Infosys, these companies doesn't touch this one. Okay, so if someone attended TCS or Infosys or Wipro, so they don't have these questions usually. Sometimes they'll ask, but most of the times they won't ask. But if you come to the mid-range companies, so startups or not startups, more scaled companies, already they cross the startup level, so they ask this question. Problem solving skills, they'll ask you this hypothetical question and they need to solve this problem. Okay, so this is the problem solving. This is the second one. And the third one, coding skills. So how you code, like they'll give you a question. Most common questions I hear is pyramid of stars, print Fibonacci series, find the highest digit in these two numbers. In this way, they'll ask you some coding questions, simpler questions, and they'll give you a pen and a paper and they'll ask you to write the code. Okay, so this is also an important thing. This is the third thing. Okay, and coming to the fourth thing, advanced basic questions. Like they'll show you two tables and they'll ask, so which joint you use in SQL, so which joint you use. Based on your resume, the questions will be prepared. If you mention SQL also, then the SQL question would be like this. And they'll ask you also, so I need this column from this, how you join this one. Or else, like if you mention HTML, so they'll ask you, if I want to add an image there, what is the attribute I'm going to use, and I want the borderline in this aspect, and they'll ask in this way. Okay, so these are advanced basic questions, advanced basic technical questions. So you need to prepare this. So these are the four things. What are these four things? One, you need to answer confidently, and they'll test you whether you're confident enough, whether you're cool while you're answering, or you're very fear while you're answering. They'll check this first. And what is the second thing? Your problem solving skills. So how good you while you're solving the problems. Okay, they'll test this one. This is the second one. And what is the third thing? Coding skills. So how good you are while writing the coding, like while you're writing the code. whether that was in any language. They'll give you okay, whatever the language you mentioned in your resume, you can write that code. So how good you are while you're writing the code. And then the fourth one, this is a very important one basically. So that is advanced basic questions. The most of the technical interviews happened on this only. So coming to the breakout. So if you see this, I'm breaking down everything and what is the percentage they were actually occupied. So the first one, that is how you're answering, whether you're answering in a confident way or you're feeling fear while you're answering, or any breakings while you're answering. This occupies 10%. And then how is your problem solving skills, whether you're solving that in a good way or you're little laggy in this process. This occupies 20%. And then your coding skills. So how you're writing your code. So whether you're able to upgrade yourself in this coding or you're too bad in this coding. There is only two things. So if you're good at coding, they'll consider you okay. And even though if you're trying better, like you're trying well and good, then they also consider you also. And the bad one, if you haven't wrote any code, you're a bad one. Okay, so this occupies 30%. And the final one, advanced basic questions. This is really important. Okay, as I mentioned, so this occupies 40% of your this entire technical skills. So this is all about technical skills. Now coming to the third part, cultural fit. So how you're going to fit for their culture, for the office culture. Okay, so basically this is mostly happens in your personal interview round or HR round. There even in technical round they'll ask you a little bit like why should I hire you, in that way. But most often this entire topic goes on to your personal interview round or HR round. Okay, so what are the topics they're going to ask? In this topic there is 3 subtopics. So one, that is values alignment. So how your values align to their work culture. 2, teamwork and collaboration. Like are you a team player, like how you're personally. So most often this part goes to personal interview round. 3, passion and enthusiasm. So how passionate you are for this role. Like are you really passionate, and if you need to show more enthusiasm for this role. So how good you are. So these are the 3 subtopics. So 1, value alignment and teamwork and collaboration, and the third one is passion and enthusiasm. Let's deep dive. So first one, value alignment. So here they'll test your personal things, like how value you give for your other members, or how value you give to your work culture, or else while you're answering, how value you give to me. So these are the some things they'll test in value alignment. Okay, so if you see Google, you no need to interact with every person in Google. Okay, so you can do your work. There are plenty of places in that way. So if you come to the TCS or Infosys, they need to work with the team. Okay, so they need to collaborate and all these things. So they'll test you a little bit there. So here they'll ask you some of the questions like this. So what if your senior does this thing? What if your senior do this to you? What do you do? So in this way they'll test you for this one, values alignment. So this is the best example. And coming to the second one, teamwork and collaboration. So here they'll test you they'll ask you, if you remember in your project question, they'll ask you what are the projects you have done and what is your role in that project and what you have done in the project. Okay, so they'll ask you this question. So I'll tell you one of the best answer which we can tell. Okay, so which I also mentioned this thing in my interview. So I mentioned one thing that while we are doing the project, one of my friends, so he faced an issue where I was really good at that particular problem. So I was done with my particular role, development of ATS. So in my project was done. Okay, so now he was struggling in his part. So what I have done, and if I saw remaining people, like everyone in my team, but everyone were basically haven't done with their project, haven't done with their work yet. They were busy were doing in that work, and deadline is very close and we need to submit the project, and he was really struggling. He was in very beginning stage. Now I came to him and I tell him, okay, we both do this anyway. I completed my work, we both complete this project on time. And after I collaborated with him and I joined his work, and we done the entire project, our work entirely, and we submitted the projects couple of days before the submission. which made our project more valuable to our college members. Okay, so this is one of the best answer I gave, and I consider this as a best answer, what they were expecting from you also. Okay, so this is a teamwork and collaboration part. And coming to the third one, passion and enthusiasm. So there is no questions for this. You need to show the enthusiasm. For example, while you're answering and you think you're the good at that role, you need to show your enthusiasm. Like, I was this guy who shows good, very interested on this Python. So I was developing this Python, I was writing these codes, and I was developing apps on this Python from plenty of years. So you need to answer in this way. So this is the best way to answer. Okay, now coming to the summary. Okay, now let's look at everything simple and easy. So the first one, they check your communication skills. In that, they'll 3 subtopics. You can check that in a document. Coming to the second part, that is technical skills. So in this technical skills, we have 4 subtopics, and you can check that out in the document itself. And then coming to the third one, that is value alignment. So in this value alignment, we have 3 subtopics. As usual, you can check that document in the description itself. Okay, so this is the summary. When you understand the whole picture now of how the recruitment manager finds a role, and based on that role they create a job description, and based on that job description you apply for the role, maybe in LinkedIn or Indeed or from your placement department. After that, they'll shortlist your resume, they filter some people out, and then now the streamline comes. If GD is optional, if they want, if they want soft skills more in the same way of technical, they'll keep GD, or else they'll keep technical rounds only, technical round 1, 2, or else 1 technical round and personal interview round or HR round. Okay, so this how they streamline. And now in this entire streamline, resume shortlisting takes out almost everything. Like they filter everyone who are mentioning useless thing. So watch the resume writing at the end of the card. And then like the next one, GD basically it's a tricky one. Everyone thinks that is a tricky one, but it's not a tricky one when you know how to solve that one. If you see from a recruiter perspective what he wants, the GD is really easy, and I'm going to upload that video also. For that, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so now the next one is interview rounds. So in this interview rounds, you need to crack in this process only. So this is the best process. You can simply crack any interview with this. Okay, and then after that, the final interview round, and then your onboarding and everything. Okay, so this is how the process happens. And if you like this entire explanation of mine, so you guys can hit a like button and you can subscribe. Every student need to subscribe. I'm telling you this in every video. So students need to subscribe this channel. This is the best place for students to get the knowledge. Okay, thank you guys.